What's happening, party people? Welcome to Punchboard Party. My name is Daniel and this is Hot Take, where I'm taking a look at 5 board games trending on Board Game Geek, tell you why they're trending, what I think about them, and what's cool about them. So let's get going for today. Sitting at number 1 on the hotness today is Unfathomable. You can check out my thoughts in this video here, but I want to talk a little bit more about it because people are talking up a storm about this game. So Unfathomable is a reskin, retheme of the old game Battlestar Galactica and takes it into the Arkham horror universe. And now you are on the USS Atlantic in the early 1900s, and there are elder gods coming up from the depths of the sea and trying to take over the ship by inhabiting hosts, other humans who will sabotage the ship, and you as guests on the ships are trying to keep that from happening. So as the conversation and buzz around this game has continued, there's a couple things that keep coming to the surface. Theme, and how the Lovecraft theme or Cthulhu theme is not really engaging or enticing to quite a few people. When I posted my video about the game, I was expecting to get a lot more hype and excitement from people, but by and large I got lukewarm reception around the Cthulhu theme, and people just saying that's not a theme that really draws them in or that they appreciate all that much. And that also kind of played into Battlestar Galactica itself, because the space theme is also polarizing for a lot of people. There's a lot of people who love their science fiction themes in games, and there's a lot of people who don't. I know my wife Sarah, when she sees a science fiction theme, she runs in the other direction. It just, for some people, it seems a little too niche or nerdy. And I think Arkham also has the same effect, where people who love it a lot, but then there's a good majority of people who can either take it or leave it or don't like it all that much. So what I want to know from you is, are there any themes that you simply will not play? Just let me know down in the comments below. Are there any themes in board games that you just stay away from on principle? Tell me what they are and why. I think that's a really fun conversation to have. And so Unfathomable, recently announced, is coming to us in September of this year. Probably a retail of around $80 US. There's a lot of people excited about this because they miss Battlestar Galactica or miss Battlestar Galactica, but also quite a few people who wonder if we're overdoing the Cthulhu thing. Sticking with our conversation about theme, and coming in at number 7 on the hotness today is Deliverance. The Kickstarter for this is live, and this is a Christian themed cooperative dungeon crawl about angels battling demons. And so, you know what? When I see a Christian game, I turn the other way, and I love Jesus so much. But I cannot stand what Christian things do to our culture and how they seem to just turn people away more than draw people in to the love that Jesus has for people. And so when I see a Christian themed game, I'm just like, ooh. But we gotta talk about this because this game has some really cool things going for it apart from its theme. The art and the components, so the minis look really cool. And I'm not really a mini guy, but I can appreciate the fact that these are cool looking minis. You got these creatures with big wings and weapons. Like, if you take the Christian thing out of it, these are just cool creatures and cool attack these really cool looking monsters that they got going on. So as far as theme wise and the look of it, it's the first Christian game that I've seen that I've said, wow, that looks cool. Like, that just looks cool. Apart from the theme, it's just like epic. So that's a cool thing. And then you got your kind of basic dungeon crawl, tactics, battle, you know, calculating distance for an attack, ranged attack, melee attack, like that kind of thing is going on. And it's a cooperative game where you just want to kill all of the demons on the board as the angel characters, and you lose if all of the angels are defeated. Also, the theme is fairly well integrated, where there are what they call the saints out on the board, and what they mean by that is just humans who are trying to live a Christian life. And there's darkness that's infecting this cute sleepy town, and this is represented by cards. and it's ongoing or one-time bad things that are happening and affecting the humans that are out on the board. And the more that the humans are oppressed, which is a key word in the game, the more that they are oppressed, the harder it is to defeat the demons that are out on the board. And so thematically, it's really cool where the battle that you are engaged in becomes easier or harder depending on the game state of these non-player characters that are out on the board as well. So I think that's a really neat mechanism. But now let's talk about it. Let's talk about the Christian theme. How do you react when you see a Christian themed board game? Let me know down in the comments below, how do you receive a Christian themed board game? What are your thoughts and feelings? Let me know down below. I talked about this game last week. This is Now or Never. It's sitting at number 2 on the hotness. And right after I talked about it in last week's video, a trailer dropped for it and the pre-order came up on the website. So links down below to the rulebook and to the pre-order for this game if you were really interested. But we know a bit more about the game and we have a better insight into how it plays and what's happening. And so I just wanted to give it a little bit more attention because this is a game that's getting me quite excited. Because right out of the box, there's a standard version and there's the campaign version of the game. And you might know the campaign style games don't really intrigue me. Well, I guess it's not that I'm not into campaign style games, it's just that I don't find that I get them to the table for enough repeated plays to get the campaign finished. And I find that quite discouraging. But with this having a standard play mode that I can just play right out of the box and play it like any regular Euro game, I'm very excited. And make no mistake, I think this is your standard Euro fare with a story flourish all around it. More in-depth story than your typical Euro, of course, but Ryan Lockett himself is admitting that this is an economic game at its core. And so I want to highlight one mechanic that's getting me very excited. So basically what you're doing in this game is you're building up a village after a meteor creature invasion on the world of Azrium. You know, and so you are repopulating and rebuilding this village, and it's going to be indicated on a track what resources are in demand at any given time. And so you are going to be building buildings to produce these resources, to sell them at the market, to grow your economy. And the main way that you do this is by acquiring buildings and adding them to your village. And so the buildings you choose are going to be in a grid, and at the beginning you can choose any building on the outside edge. But then once you do that, you now are restricted to taking buildings for your village that are directly adjacent to the empty space or empty spaces that you have created. So there's this tech tree situation in the game where you are kind of cutting options off from yourself and kind of heading in one particular direction strategy-wise. And that's a simple kind of Euro game mechanism that I just really gravitate towards and really love. And I love that I can play this game just right out of the box in a standard mode and enjoy that crunchy puzzle as I try and build an economic engine in this game. And so again, pre-order is open, check it out. I'm seriously considering this one. So coming in at number 7 on the hotness today is Adele, and the Kickstarter just closed on this. So that is why it's getting a lot of buzz on BGG. And another game with a cool theme, and this one may be a little polarizing because it is sci-fi, but I think it has kind of a timeless thing about it, the evil AI. So in Adele, you play as a crew on a Mars expedition. So you're on this spaceship and all of a sudden the AI starts turning things off, making things not work, pumping gas into your sleeping chambers. And so you realize as a crew that the ship is out to get you. And you have two options. You can either get yourself off the ship or you can destroy the AI. So this is really great. If you love 2001 Space Odyssey or Alien, then this theme just makes your flesh crawl in the best way possible. And that's where I'm at. I just love this theme. I love the whole idea of you think you're safe, but you are not. And the only thing that is truly in control is now taking control. And so what they've done in this game is they made it a one versus many game. And previously in videos, I've kind of questioned one versus many and if that's really something that we want to see in our board games. But I think the one versus many here fits really well because basically what's happening is there are items hidden all over the ship that you need to seek out and find and bring back and kind of put in a main kind of console area on the board. And players are going to start in different quadrants of the ship. And then one player is going to be Adele, and they're going to be setting fires and locking doors and just making things really difficult for players as they're trying to get these items to a certain area. Now, all the players know where certain items that they need to get are. Each player has a slice of the pie of the information, but they can't just willy-nilly talk about it out in the open because Adele is sitting at the table with them. And so I think the one versus many really plays into this theme well. So I don't think I'm gonna be racing to the table to play this game, but I am going to be interested. And when it comes around, I might find myself playing this game and really enjoying it. So let's see about that. So that's Adele. What theme just do you love? We already talked about themes that we don't love so much, so what theme just always grabs your attention? This kind of evil AI theme always grabs my attention, makes me really curious. What else for you? Let me know down below. Okay, last game we're going to talk about today is Dune House Secrets. This got a release date. We've heard about this game for a while, but we now know that October 15th it's going to be released at Essen Spiel Game Convention, and then it'll be available in retail 1 week later. And so what's cool about this is that finally a Dune game that is themed around the new movie is actually going to be released along the same time as the movie. So the movie releases October 1st, and we're going to get this game at the end of October. And so what Dune Imperium was not able to manage because the movie got rescheduled, Dune House Secrets will hopefully get that privilege. And so that's going to be really cool because once the movie's getting a lot of attention, there's going to be, I hope, 2 quality board games for people who are fans of the movie to hopefully stumble into the hobby. So what is Dune House Secrets? It is from Ignacy Trzewiczuk and Portal Games, and it is a re-implementation of their detective game line. And so this is a fully cooperative, scenario-based, immersive game where the games take anywhere between 2 and 4 hours, probably 3 or 4 hours to play out a mission. And you basically have an app on your tablet or computer, and it acts as this database, like the Secret Service database, at least in Detective, where you search witnesses or suspects, and it tells you all the information about them, and you get clues that way, and you find out their whereabouts. And you're using pen and paper to figure out things as well. And you're going through a deck of cards, which is telling you a bunch of clues and information as you go. And you're not necessarily going to go through all the clues in a scenario, but enough to get your man. And so taking all of these mechanisms in this kind of immersive experience and putting it into the Dune universe, I find really appealing. Because while I'm not the first one to engage in these really immersive experiences, if I'm going to, a science fiction theme like Dune and that world where you have kind of mystical elements as well as technological elements, you kind of get the science fiction magic feeling all around you. I can really see myself engaging in this theme. The theme paired with an already solid game design is going to make for a cool release for Essen come October. So that's Dune House Secrets. So let's keep our eyes out for that. So there we have it, party people. Those are 5 trending board games today on Board Game Geek, and I hope that you saw something today that piqued your interest, that you were going to do more of a deep dive into. For a couple of the games, I've put rule books and links to pre-order pages down below, so you can check those out right from here. I hope that you have happy times going down that rabbit hole. So thank you so much for watching. I do a hotness update once a week, so please subscribe to the channel for that. I also do other board gaming content as well. So if you like what you're seeing, subscribe. I'd really appreciate that so much. And until next time, party people, have the best day.